Hi, I'm still a beginner. I've only really been using Gamemaker Studio for a little while, and I'm not really all that advanced in programming. That being said, I've done a bunch of tutorials, not to full completion, but enough to be able to make little small things. Anyway, so the dilemma I was having was that I wanted to I wanted to animate an object, but not doing it programmatically, because you can do it in sequences and it's a lot more visual. And so here's an object that I created that's basically an enemy object, and I've animated it in the sequences, and it just loops like so. And if we go to the workspace to take a look at the object, all you really need to know is that this O jerky, it's my bullet object. The washer is the enemy object, and on collision with when the jerky collides with the washer, this O washer will destroy itself. But in the destroy event, this is what's kind of important actually, because here's my sequence up here, sequence washer, and if we go to the game room, see we're on the assets layer. I've got down here, you can see these are literally just sequences, they're not objects. So when the object gets destroyed, it's gonna check I actually forgot exactly how this works, to be honest. There's one line here, but anyway, it's going to, you gotta use layer sequence destroy, and sequence instance is, I think it's basically checking, you're able to pull the sequence information. It's an instance variable of the washer, so it's I'll put a link below to the manual that has those specific spots, but basically this line here is just checking, is going to destroy the sequence from which this object exists. This object is part of the sequence washer, and one of the instance variables for an object is sequence instance. So here we're just fetching the element ID, which is, I guess, the thing that we need to do to be able to get that information of the exact sequence. And so when the object gets destroyed, it destroys, instead of destroying the object, it'll destroy the sequence. And when you destroy the sequence, well, it'll destroy everything that's part of the sequence, including the object. So it's kind of a roundabout way of doing it, but it's the most simple way I found, because I looked for a while and I just couldn't find it, and I got some help on the forum from someone. And yeah, so that's that. If you don't have this line, I'll comment it out. If you don't encapsulate it with this, everything will still actually work. You won't get any problems if you're just playing, and if I shoot the other one, it'll get destroyed and everything will be fine. However, if it still exists in the game and you try to exit out, you'll get this error message that it just can't find what is it, variable unknown. It can't find the element ID. I can only assume I'm assuming, because I don't know at all, is that when you exit out of the game, it must, I don't know, the order of destruction of stuff must be causing it to not be able to find the sequence instance element ID anymore. So the way to fix that is basically to include this line. This check. So you're checking if the sequence instance is defined. So if it's undefined, it just won't run that. And if it is defined, which you need it to be defined anyway to be able to destroy it, then it will be able to destroy it. I really don't know if there's a better way to do this. Like I said, I'm a beginner, but this it took me a while to figure it out, but I wanted to be able to use a sequence, substitute a sequence in place of the object, and so that I could take advantage of using the animations of the sequence, because like I showed you before, you know, all I'm doing is this. It's moving up and down a bit, and it's rotating back and forth a bit. And I mean, yeah, I could probably have figured out how to do that with the object events programmatically, but I don't know. I just wanted to do it this way because it's more visual, and I mean, in a way, yeah, it's less programmatic to set this all up. But then I guess, you know, I ended up having to learn a bunch of, you know, reading the manual and stuff to figure out how to programmatically destroy it properly, which I'm still not 100% sure if it's proper. Yeah. In any case, this is what I'm doing, and yeah. So I'm gonna, yeah. So I'll do that, and I'm saying yeah a lot, but I imagine if you create an object spawner, you can spawn the sequence rather than the object, and it should work just fine. So that's pretty much it. If you got any comments, and if you really have any suggestions the way this could be done better, then, you know, feel free to write in the comment below. But so far, this is all I could come up with, and I tried so much, you know, reading the manual on layer sequences and layer sequence functions and sequence functions. But the sequence functions, I think they're more for when you want to create a sequence dynamically within the game itself, and the layer sequence functions are when you've already created a sequence here and you want to, you know, manipulate it in the game once it's in the game at some point. But the ones created from the ID, you know, go hand in hand with layer sequence functions, I guess. And that's pretty much it. So how long is this video now? Well, I can't even tell. Doesn't matter. So that's it.